Yeah, I was part of that that culture division at the time. I was on that cutting edge, so people were unsure about who we were. They didn't particularly like who we were. I mean, a bunch of long hairs, whatever, counterculture. But that's not what I wanted to be. It was just the opposite thing. I wanted to have a type of store that kind of embraced everybody, had something for everybody, and I think that's what it took a while, but that's what we've turned out. Now the odd justice of all this is that eventually you end up looking like your parents anyway. So here I am.
That's the irony of life, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, I think they were, and I realized it later on. I think people were afraid of what we represented, and I think eventually they found out we weren't that bad. We weren't doing all those things that they thought we did, because it was different to them. Yeah, that was a hotbed. That was a hot time. It was a good time, but there was some black and white divisions in America. So.
And how did that idea come to you?
Oh, actually, I'd like to take credit for it, but it's not. It was some friends of mine that started in high school, and like all ideas, they thought it would be cool, it would be something different, and when they graduated, they didn't know what to do with it, and so I ended up with it, and...
So it was a business, was something that somebody else, you picked it up?
Some high school kids, yeah, some high school kids.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Nobody does, because it'd been around for maybe, a year, or maybe even less than a year, but somewhere around a year, and then they graduated. It was Brad Atwood, Roger Tebow, Paul Boutin. I just have nicknames, I don't want to give that. They were the ones, and then Mark Theriault were the original people involved, and I ended up with it, changed it, brought it across the street, tried to modify it, and not too much. And I don't think that most people thought we'd get this far. But here I am.
Tell me some of the toughest times. In the early days, the toughest.
Oh yeah. Well, it's been tough because Berlin, itself has not been economically strong, but it's, hopefully they'll change. You're always optimistic. If you're in business, you have to be an optimist, because one of my quotes is that business is legalized gambling. It really is. And so you have to be on the side of prudence, and you have to be optimistic. Yeah. I just want something for everybody. Actually, it's only changed because it grew. I mean, it's something that I wanted. Everything interests me, so I just want to be everything. I'd love to be a bookstore. I'd like to be a museum. I'd like to, all those things. And so I just want to bring in diverse people into the store and rub shoulders, not just cater to the rich or to the young or this whatever. A little bit of something for everybody, including children and kids and whatever, because it brought people together. And I want to be, I guess I really want to be honest with you, I want to be like the old grocery store, what do you call them, country store. Yeah. Yeah, where people used to meet and talk and shoot the bull and see different things. So that's pretty much what I want to be. And I wanted Berlin because you knew your friends and your neighbors, and it wasn't just people that you saw for one day and then see them again. I mean, this you see people all the time. I want a connection. You want a community. And so that's what I want. So it's part of it. So a little bit was my usual self, trying to socially engineer stuff. Sorry.
And this business has kind of perpetually associated you with being young, which isn't bad, because I can't believe you're in your late 60s.
Yeah, I'm going to be...
I find that hard to believe.
I'm going to be 67.
Wow.
I kind of find it hard. I really don't like the number on my driver's license.
But, I mean, it must keep you young.
It does. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps you active. When I see the people that stayed around for a long time, they just kept on going. Whether it's George Burns, just that comes up to mind, and oh my God, I forget his name now. Guy from 60 Minutes who just died recently.
Yeah, Andy Rooney.
Andy Rooney. Yeah, I mean, all those people had just kept on going because that's the way it should be, and I don't think they I mean, it's the old cliche. I mean, you think about it, you say, oh, I can't be this old, I don't feel this way, I don't think this way, or whatever. And it's true. And I think if you just keep on, I think it's good. I'm rambling on and on, but
what's the story going to be like 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What's your plans?
My plan is to hopefully, get Berlin getting better, expand it. I would like to do the bookstore. I would like to expand in the arts, that type of stuff, and unusual items.